All right, good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning. What is today? The 10th of March, 2025. So the purpose of this video, as title depicts, is to do a review of the Case TV620B with the Indeco mulching head. And I am recording this video right now in the truck 2 days after we demoed that unit and did a review on it on a job that we had on Saturday. And the reason I'm recording this video now is I had filmed a bunch of pre-footage leading up to the morning of that job, and we had a pit stop at the gym before heading up to that job, and then also looking at bidding a job on the way up to getting to the job site where the case was delivered for us. And so I recorded all that footage the morning of the job, and lo and behold, the phone, I recorded it. I'm recording with my good camera now and my DJI mics. I recorded all that footage stupidly with my iPhone, and my iPhone was connected to my truck at the time via Uconnect on my RAM, and it recorded obviously all the video, but I got zero audio. And apparently, I don't know if there's some settings on my truck or whatever, but when the phone is connected to the truck via Bluetooth or CarPlay, which it was, there's a situation where unless you have your settings dialed in, I don't know what the settings are supposed to be. I just did a quick Google search, and anyways, it didn't get any of the audio. So it's just me friggin' talking. and so it's worthless. I'm gonna have to probably just delete it. I don't think there's any way to reclaim that audio, which is unfortunate because I like to record this stuff in real time, day of type of situation instead of going back and re-recording. But I wanted to put some pre-footage into heading up to that job, and just kind of giving you guys a short little glimpse of a day in the life, starting out in the morning, heading up there. And so we ran the machine. You guys are about to see all that. We'll loop in the footage next of running the machine and drone footage and everything, and kind of give you a walk around of the outside and the inside, and mulching head included. And then after I'm done, the landowner was there, the rep from Miller Bradford Equipment that had this machine delivered to the job for us, and graciously allowed us to run it for the day at no cost, which was great. Not everybody's always willing to do that, so it was really nice to be able to demo a machine with a mulching head on it and actually run it on a real job, before considering buying it, for what the machines cost. I mean, they're all, except for the Kubota, the rest of the machines that we're looking at are all over, $100,000 for just the machine, no attachments or anything, which I already have my attachments. But although that Indeco mulching head got my attention, and you guys will see that in the video, but got to do a little bit more homework on that. So you guys will see all that, and then when I'm done running the machine for the day, I do a full kind of review on what my thoughts were for. We didn't get to run it for a ton of time. It's not like I got to borrow the machine for days, weeks, months on end. I got to run it for several hours, enough to get a pretty good comparison for how that stacks up against my SVL 97 with my Vail mulching head. And so I pretty much am just doing a comparison for how the case feels in relation to my SVL 97, the positive takeaways, the negatives, and what I think about purchasing that machine. And you'll see I kind of end it with, I feel like I'd like to run it a little bit more. There's some settings within the case software that can be changed and really customized to the operator and the specific job. And I just, I had a job to do when I got there. I also had another job to go look at when that job was over. So I didn't have all the time in the world to sit and really dive into everything that it can do. I have also, in combination with talking with the rep and then watching other videos on YouTube, which there aren't that many on the 620B, but there are some, and just watching some other guys dive into some of the settings on the screen and in the software with being able to really customize the flow and the power output and everything for each individual operator, and I would like to mess around with that and just kind of be sure, see where I had those settings set, you know, because once we got in the machine, we fired it up, we got the mulching head running at high flow. I mean, I didn't really mess with any settings. I mean, the machine did well. I didn't feel like I needed to, but also I'm still very curious just to see what it's fully capable of, if I can adjust some of those settings and maybe get even better performance out of it. Because as you'll see at the end of this video, when I talk about what I thought, it's some things that were concerning to me, just in, you know, just response time for the controls, the tracks, you know, hydraulic flow demand and stuff like that, and just kind of feeling a little bit sluggish when compared to like my SVL 97. But again, it's a heavier machine. It weighs 16,700 pounds. So it would make sense that those things would be true. However, that's why I want to kind of dive into those settings, because maybe there's some settings in there that can be changed that I just didn't know about at the time of running it, that could negate some of the things that I didn't like about it, in terms of just feeling sluggish and not being a really, you know, nimble machine. I mean, it's heavy, and I guess the way that I put it was it's heavy and it feels like it's heavy. It acts like it's heavy, but if that can be changed within some of the settings, then, you know, maybe I would change my mind about that. So anyways, that's what's going on. I'm filming this video right now, 2 days later, and from here we're going to cut to day of pulling up to the job and then running the machine, and then at the end of the video I will discuss my thoughts. Here it is, guys. Case TV620B. She's warm. We got the rundown on the controls. We're about to jump in and see what this is all about. All right, guys, here we are inside the Case TV620B. Just got the rundown on the controls here from the rep, and we're gonna fire this thing up. It's a little hot in here, and figure out what it can do. We got the drone in the air. He's gonna try to run that for me, and we'll see how this goes. Stay tuned. right, guys, so mulching job is finished. As you can see, machine behind me here, and now that we're done, and it's weird talking about these videos as if I have already like edited the first part of the video and like trying to remember to like talk to you guys as I'm filming different segments, trying to remember like what segment I am currently in so I remember what it is that I'm talking about and where it's going to sit. So I've taken like multiple videos, some clips with my phone while driving on this video, and now that I'm out of the truck, I've got my DJI mic and my good camera for filming some content outdoors here next to the machine. But by this time, you guys should have seen the initial arriving at the site. I had some trouble with my drone where it was telling me that my SD card was full, even though I deleted all files off of it yesterday and formatted it this morning. I think I solved that issue now, but as we were filming some content right away when I started mulching this morning, I left the damn remote on like for this entire mulching job where I wasn't using the drone, so now the remote battery's freaking low. So I got that charging on the truck right now, but hopefully everything, I seemingly was able to record some drone footage. I'm sure there's some stuff on the card, and if you guys will have already seen by the time you get to this point in the video, whatever else or whatever I was able to record with it. But anyway, so the Case TV620B with the Indeco mulching head. This is, which Indeco is this? This is IMH 3.5 SS. IMH 3.5 SS. And so when I had the issue that I had first told you guys that I was expecting to have with this machine, where I was thinking that this is a 115 horsepower machine, and the carrier, the machine itself with no mulching head, weighs 16,000, either 700 or 800 pounds. And so my concern with this machine, let you guys kind of get a good look at it here. My concern with this machine was that at 115 horsepower, the additional weight of the machine, taking it up to 16,700 pounds, was going to rob horsepower from the mulching head. And I don't feel like that happened. And the reason I thought that was going to happen is because, for example, the John Deere 335P also has 115 horsepower. It's actually 118, but let's just, we can compare the two. And that machine weighs like 4,000 pounds less than this carrier. And so I said, well, if we have two machines with the same horsepower, but one of them has 4,000 pounds less weight to carry around, then it would potentially have more horsepower to dedicate towards the auxiliary hydraulics. And I don't necessarily feel like that happened. The mulching head performed really well. When it did bog down, it recovered quickly. Honestly, it recovered just as quickly, in my opinion, as my Vail recovers, maybe even slightly faster. Now, I've been into some significantly more severe wooded situations with the Vail than we did here today. So I would like to use this a little bit more than I've used it. I would like to get it out on my property and try some like 4 and 6 inch buckthorn, really thick, nasty stuff, and just see how it performs there. I did get into a little bit of buckthorn here down by the food plot in the bottom, a little bit of honeysuckle, where I was kind of able to see how it performed, and it performed really well, better than I thought it was going to. The machine has a lot of power, and again, when the drum did bog, it recovered really quickly. Now, one of the things that's maybe not totally a fair comparison with this mulching head and my Vail mulching head is that this machine does not have, it really doesn't have any bite limiters on it. And so you can really just take a full-on chunk of whatever it is that you're trying to mulch if you're not careful. And we did that with a dead like 9 or 10 inch log down there, and it just grabs the whole log instead of, you know, the bite limiters only allowing so much to be chipped off at a time. And but I also feel like this machine had the power and the flow to power through that, where even though it grabbed more than maybe I had intended for it to grab, it still performed better than I had anticipated it was going to. Now, one thing that I will say is that you just can't take away the weight. It is a heavy machine. 16,700, throw the mulching head on there, and we're in the 19s. So my machine, my Kubota SVL 97, and it stacks up very similar to the Deere 335P, the Bobcat T86. Those machines are like 12,500 pounds. My Kubota with no attachment is 11,300 pounds. And again, 16,700 pounds with no attachment. And you just can't take that away. It is heavy. We got on an incline down there, and with the drum spinning at full RPM, and you know, so everything's idled all the way up, 40 gallons a minute going to the head, and it just, it struggles. It's really slow at climbing the hill, especially while climbing the hill, either down, of course going down and then trying to backtrack up, that's really bad, right? But even pushing forward when we're coming up the hill and mulching upward, it just, you can just tell it's really heavy. And then also, while the drum is spinning at full RPM and you try to raise the mulcher into the air, you know, maybe 6-7 feet off the ground to mulch something high and come down low on it, it's really slow. It's a lot slower than my Kubota. So I don't know if this head maybe just weighs more than my Kubota or than my Vail. I don't know the weight on this Indeco. I'll probably look it up because now I'm curious, but my Vail is like 2,800 pounds. Most high flow mulching heads are around there, you know, 2,200, 2,500 to maybe 3,000 at best. And so that was just something I noticed as well, is it's just, you can tell that she's heavy. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I like the power, I like the output, but I don't like how heavy it is. And I think, you know, because of the versatility that is needed from a machine for forestry mulching, you never know what kind of situation you're gonna be in with, you know, soft ground, hills, inclines. Like if I had a job that was specifically, you know, a hillside within, you know, the grade percentage that I would consider still being able to do the job, I don't know that I'd want to be running this machine. It's just, I think the weight of the machine would really slow me down, just based on how I saw it perform out down on this incline that we had here on this job. So I don't know. I would like to run it some more. I think flat ground, one thing that I really did notice, again, in reference to power, and again, this is when we were on flat ground, is that when it pulls something into the drum, it just blows it up, right? Which is what mulchers do, but I will say that this had noticeably more output and productivity than my SVL 97 with my Vail mulching head. Now, that could very well specifically be related to the carrier, because again, we're at 115 horsepower on this case, and my SVL 97 is 97 horsepower, or I think 96.8 technically. So I honestly would like to see what my Vail feels like on this machine. However, we're still always going to revert back to, I think, the overall total weight at 16.7 is just going to be a problem in terms of versatility. I think if I had the need for a second machine, I think maybe there are some situations where a heavier unit like this could come into play, but also still having the option to use, you know, another 100 horse track machine like the Kubota or the Bobcat or the John Deere, whatever we end up going with, because I still think I'm going to end up replacing the Kubota. But all those carriers are, again, 3,000 to 4,000 pounds less than the Case, and that's attractive to me. ASV even, there's a few things I don't like about ASVs, but we're still probably going to look at the VT100 at least. And I shouldn't say things that I don't like about, I've never run an ASV, but just from watching other guys do review videos and stuff on them, they seem to be prone to some issues, but that also seems to specifically be more related to the RT135 than maybe the VT100. But anyway, different topic, different video. So that's where we're at, guys. I know there are not a whole lot of videos on YouTube right now where they're specifically reviewing the TV620 for forestry mulching. There are a couple. I think John over at Upstate Brush Control has spoken his piece on this machine, just in one or two of his videos with a mulching head on it. And if I recall, he seemed to like it, but he did think it was a little underpowered. And again, I don't know. I think that could just be in relation to the weight. It's 115 horse and it's 16.7 weight, and so more horsepower would maybe mitigate that. But so I don't know if Case has anything in the works for a similar carrier but more horsepower. I don't know. That's not for me to decide. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on this machine, guys. It did a really beautiful job, I'm not gonna lie. They wanted me to review it, and that's what I'm doing. Just my honest opinion from running it. That's what I think. I am interested in this head though, this Indeco mulching head. I would be curious to put that on a different carrier and see how it performs, and maybe get it on one of the other machines that's not so heavy and see how it performs. I don't know if that'll be a possibility or not. There's a lot that goes into tuning these heads to each specific machine if you expect to get the most efficiency and productivity out of it. And so for me to change the tuning of my head on my machine, or right now this machine, they tuned this head just this week actually for this Case. Spent a lot of time doing it and getting it dialed in, I'm told. And so I doubt they want to change the tuning to run it on my machine and see how it would perform that way. But again, I would also like to go the other way and stick my mulching head on this Case and just see how it compares and how it stacks up. So, but at this point, guys, the video is probably going to be getting pretty long between leaving the house this morning, mulching footage, drone footage, and now I'm talking about what I think about it. But this was the whole point of this video. And these guys, huge shout out to Chris at Miller Bradford Equipment. These guys, that's how they found me, was filming my YouTube channel, my content online. And that's what led him to me, and they reached out and said, hey, I saw what equipment you're running, this is what we offer, and this is our forestry machine that Case has implemented, and this is the mulching head, and would you review it for us? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. So they asked me where I was working, and I said, what's the address, and we'll come up and drop it off. So they did that, and here we are. And that's just kind of my honest opinion. But huge shout out to those guys. It was a big deal to be able to actually demo the unit with a mulching head before I consider buying one. And I would appreciate it if I was able to do that with Deere and Bobcat, or even ASV too, or any of the other carriers that we look at. Those are probably the top 3 other than this one that I would be interested in demoing. So I'll have to reach out to my dealer, also Chris, over at Midstate Equipment for Bobcat and Deere. But he currently says they don't have a demo unit right now for either one of those, I believe, the Deere 335P or the Bobcat T86. Leaning significantly heavier towards the Deere than the Bobcat as far as that dealer goes. And then I do have an ASV dealer that I've been in contact with at any time recently, probably a year ago. I need to give that guy a call and see if I can get a hold of a VT100 and see what we think about that. But I'll give you guys kind of one last look here at the Case TV620B with Indeco mulching head. It's a pretty machine. One thing I will say is that look at how clean this machine is for having just got done with 3 hours of mulching. It wasn't the most treacherous mulching job, which I'm sure is a contributing factor, but I mostly attribute that to the mulching head. I think just the way that it mulches and the way that we were using it, it didn't kick a lot of debris back onto the machine. I'll give you guys a look inside here at the cab. See if I can spin it around, get a look at the controls and everything. Look at how clean the cab stayed. And that is a result of, one, I think the way that the head works, the way we were using the head, again, it just wasn't kicking a whole lot of debris back on the machine. But also, the door seals from the outside, which, again, as you guys know with the Kubota, it doesn't with the roll-up door. It's nice in certain situations, but man, debris finds its way into the cab, and it's fucking annoying, for lack of a better term. So I think unless I can come up with any more comments or closing comments that I'm forgetting to film right now, this will probably be the end of the video. And we'll see what happens in the future with the other machines. I will, if I get a chance to actually demo those machines, I of course will do similar videos such as this, if I'm lucky enough to be able to put a mulching head on those and take them for a joyride before we think about buying one. I don't know the cost on this machine. I wanted to share that with you guys. This machine right here has pretty low hours, like 77 hours or something like that. I don't know what it retails for. I need to talk to Chris about that and get a price and see how that stacks up. But another logistical problem, if we were to buy this machine, is because of the weight, the trailer that I have is not going to work. So if we did buy this machine, we would need a different trailer. So that's also food for thought as well on my end. Just kind of another thing that we would have to do that I don't know if I want to do. But we'll see. Overall thoughts and closing comments. It's a good machine. A lot of power. Performed better than I thought it was going to perform, but it's heavy. And I'm going to have to think on that. I don't know how I feel about it. I want to get behind the controls of some other machines and see how they stack up. So if you guys have any comments or questions or anything about it, or anything that you think I might have missed that you want to know, drop them down below, and I will respond to those as promptly as I can. And please like and subscribe as well. That always really helps. Trying to grow the channel and whatnot. This is a young channel, as you guys know, but I appreciate the following. I appreciate the likes, comments, and the subscriptions. It's fun for me to do this and seeing you guys engaging and kind of letting me know if this content is helpful for you, or letting me know what maybe I can cut out of my videos or add to my videos, so that way I can kind of cater it more towards what you want to see. But in the meantime, with the channel being so young, I am just kind of creating content with what I think I would want to see if I were you guys, and the content that I search for and the information. I also trying to create videos with information that there just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of on YouTube. And so until I get more feedback and gain a larger following, that's just kind of what I'm going to continue to do. But hopefully you guys like it, and we will catch you on the next one.